Hello and all, welcome to a Galaxy Man Show interview show. So for today's guest is this incredible actress known by the name of Zunji, who's going to be playing the role of the Gold Ranger, the Gold Time Force Ranger in Power Rangers Unworthy, episode 4. So I'm about to give Zunji an ad into the live now and have a chat with Zunji about her incredible role as the Gold Ranger for episode 4 of Power Rangers Unworthy. Here we, here we go. Hello, how's it
Hi.
going?
Hi, I'm doing good. A little bit nerve-sighted.
Nice. Well,
So how's
can I just say thank you so much for coming on to my show. It means so much. To people that don't know who you are you able to introduce yourself and explain a bit about what you do as a person, and then I'll dive right into the questions for you.
so as a person as in
Acting
just
wise, yeah.
uh so okay, so my name is Sunny and I'm currently the actor for Unworthy as the Go Time Force Ranger.
Awesome.
And besides that, I'm just a teaching assistant. So there you go.
Awesome. So we'll dive right into the questions now. So for my very first question, so as you mentioned, you're the Gold Force Time Force
Yeah.
Ranger in Power Rangers Unworthy episode 4.
Mm.
What can people expect to see from your incredible role as the Time Force Gold Ranger? And what were you feeling when you got casted in the role?
Um, I would say definitely something different because, as you can tell, is that this is the very first time we have a Time Force Gold, and it's definitely something like new that they have created. So I would say expect something, something like different. I say, but you still get the action, and you also get some pretty you get some interaction with the Chrono Ranger, and you also and that help leads to his story. So that would be the fun. So that would be a very interesting thing. Besides that, no spoiler, okay?
Awesome.
All
So
right.
for my very next question for you, so with the Gold Ranger coming into episode 4, if you could have any memorable moment for like the Gold Ranger, what would you like to see happen with the Gold Ranger for Power Rangers Unworthy episode 4?
Oh, so as in like if I could have like different team members, you say?
So if you could have like a memorable moment, so like say for like if you want to see something unique with the Gold Ranger, what would you like to see, like story wise?
Um, that's very hard to say, honestly, because it's definitely a role that takes different interpretation right now. So it's kind of hard to say for this part. Sorry.
It's all good. So for my very next question for yourself, so coming into the role as the Gold Ranger, what were you feeling when you got casted as the Gold Ranger?
That I was definitely on cloud nine. So here's the fun fact is I got to know the role like very early on in 2020, but we had to like keep it quiet. And then so until when Unworthy make the whole official announcement that I got casted as that, I was like, oh well, cat's out of the bag. Here I am. Hi, I'm the Go Time Force Ranger, and I'm gonna do my best. I'm gonna be a ranger. So I'm like scream. I was like screaming. I was like really giddy. And also a sign of relief because like I can't believe I got casted. We gotta let this out. I'm gonna do my best. It's like a lot of emotion in one go. So it still feels very surreal to me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So on to my very next question for yourself. So with being casted, how can people relate to your Gold Ranger as a person, like viewing wise? How can people relate to your Gold Ranger?
How to relate? I would say I would say my character is possibly going to be a very positive influence, and I would say I would say as much as that goat. The goat is probably like a friend that you wish to have, or you or you would like to be friend with. So that's the best I can give away right now.
Awesome. So onto my very next question. If your Gold Ranger could be team leader of any five Ranger team members, who would you want on your team from any season and why?
So I had to be very honest. So the only Power Ranger I really finished watching is Time Force. And besides that, I mostly watch like Kamen Rider and Super Sentai. But if I have to choose my team members, like among Power Ranger and Sentai, I'll think first is Adam Park from Mighty Morphin Power Ranger. Let's see, the Geki Violet from Geki Ranger. Um, I do like. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember the names right now. I know there's some. Oh my god, I'm trying to remember. I know there's one in like Time Force that I really like a lot. The one that Daniel Southwest like acted
Yeah.
as. Yeah, I would love him to be on the team. I do like Okami Blue from Q Ranger, and let's see, I do like Gokai Green. So if I can have that team, it will be like a dream come true for me.
Awesome. So onto my very next question.
Yeah.
So, what would be your all-time favorite season of Power Rangers and why?
As I mentioned, the only one I really finished watching is Time Force, but I will still stand by it is Time Force is my favorite because I love how the story goes. The story is very engaging. The choreography is just really amazing, and it draws me in that I actually like binge watch it. Like I just binge watch it, and I'm like, you know what? Let me just go back and rewatch it again. So I'll stand by Time Force for me. Okay.
Awesome. So onto my very next question. Who would be your all-time favorite Power Rangers villain and why?
So no offense, I would say Rita because that's the only villain I remember the most, and that because of that, at one point I call her as the Cone Lady. Yeah. So.
Excellent. Awesome. So onto my very next question.
Hmm.
Who inspired you as a person to get into acting in the first place?
Um, that's kind of interesting because it's not like one individual. I feel like it's just a entertainment art that kind of like sparks in me, you know? So you know like when you're a kid, you're watching the televisions, and when you got to see how the actors play the role, you just kind of get engaged in it, and that kind of like sparks my interest. Like, how do they do that? How do they play that role? How do they do all this technique and such? And I think that's kind of like what starts to draws me in, and it gets my interest even more when I was at school and I got into theater performances, and that kind of and you can say that's where I get all my acting experiences is through the all my all my theater performances, you know, all the Shakespeare's, all those like different joint school performances, and now that I finished school, I try to like you know join in like a lightsaber stage combat club. So maybe that's also another way that I could learn a little bit how to wield the lightsaber at the same time know how to keep putting on the performance at one way. And besides that, I'll say there's one particular person that really pushed me forward in doing the acting, which is Logan. He who's the being the Chrono Ranger. So I see him not only as my best friend, but he's also like my mentor in acting. So acting alongside with him, it really helps me push forward, and it makes me really want to put out the best out of me when it comes to acting. and I always appreciate all the advice that he gave to me.
Awesome.
Yeah.
So, on to my very next question for you. So, what have you learnt about yourself during COVID this year?
I would say during COVID, I think COVID actually gave me the chance for self-reflections, and it helps me reflect on my life journey. So, so I'll say like honestly, like during this COVID, it actually like makes me realize like I still have, I still, I still have like some thoughts like saying that like maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe I should have done this and that, like that. I would I would still have like all these self doubts in my mind, like be like maybe in acting, maybe in art, maybe in whatever other things that I do. But at the same time, because I went through some self reflection, I actually noticed how far I've gone. Like I got to I got to be more confident than when I was back then. I I actually got into Unworthy, which I never dreamt of being in. I never thought of being inside a web series like that. And to be a ranger, that is unbelievable. And and also knowing how many friends and family have been supporting me, I think that actually helps me grow better as a person. It helps me grow stronger. And yeah, true that I still have some self-doubts, but I feel like with all these things going on, maybe I could use my self-doubt into my own strength to
My very next question for you, it's about your incredible role as the Gold Ranger this time. So, what was it like wearing the suit for your Gold Ranger when you first got the suit?
Okay, so I'm sorry. So the first time I see the helmet, I cried. So really, the first time I see that, I was like crying. I was like, "Oh my God, this is so beautiful!" And I was crying so much that my friend Tony, who's the photographer, he had to grab a lot of tissue paper for me. And then people walk past and like, "Is she okay?" And he's like, "Oh, don't worry. These are happy tears. She's really happy." And the whole night I just keep hugging the helmet and I just don't want to let go of it. And and then afterwards, when I was able to suit up, it feels so surreal that I feel myself like a kid again. I'm just like, "Oh my God, I am a ranger." And I'm just being giddy, running around like that. So it's also like a boost of confidence for me. At the same time, it's an amazing feeling because especially like as I mentioned that I'm also a teaching assistant as my other job. So to think that I could be a ranger right now is kind of the same as like I can think of it in this time of mindset is I could be the heroes for the kids. I could be something that kids to look up to and be example of, you know. So to me, that is a very big honor for me, you know.
Awesome. So, on to my very
Yeah,
next question. If you could be in any TV or movie franchise, what would it be and why?
hands down, Common Riders, hands down. I I love Common Riders. I just love how through all the hardship they really know how to get back up on their feet and go towards their goal. And if I could, okay, this might be a dream because this might be a dream, but like if I could be in a Kamen Rider franchise, I would scream. I would scream again. It would be such amazing feeling.
Well, to give you actually a bit of info, this year during COVID and stuff, I actually got to interview someone from the American version of Kamen Rider. She played the role of Lacey in the American version.
Oh
So
my,
yeah,
that's amazing!
yeah,
Oh my god!
and she was incredible to do an interview with. So yeah, if you want any info to talk with her or anything, I can definitely hook you up.
Thank you so much.
Will do. So on to my very next question for yourself. So what are the positives and negatives into the acting industry, and how do you get through those negatives as a person?
I'll say the positive being in the acting industry is that I'll say that doing acting is definitely it's definitely a challenge, you know, because you have to put yourself forward. You have to bring your confidence up. At the same time, you have to find a way to engage in a role. Like it can be like a role that's similar to your personality, or sometimes it's gonna be like something polar opposite or something you have never done before. And I think being in being in this industry, it definitely is a way to push your limit, test your confidence and your challenge. And it's also like I feel like it's also one way to like help yourself grow as a person, and it allows you to like show to people that maybe you have multiple sides. Negative is that I would think I would think this mindset is probably not everyone is gonna like you or like how you interpreted things or how I would say some people might not like how you how you perform or something, but I would say even though these criticism can be hard, notice like sometimes constructive criticism can help one person grow. It can help person to improve on it, and do not let all the bad word like beat you down, because as one of my friends said, you are really worth it. You're worth it, so don't let their words put you down. Keep it going, and maybe with that you could grow. You could even be better. Maybe you can even go even high. You can go from here to up there, you know?
Awesome. So on to my very next question. So what's next for you after COVID-wise, project-wise?
Sorry, can you repeat that again?
So what's next for you, like projects, like after COVID, what's next for you in the future?
um, sad, Sadly, I don't really have that much project, so I'll probably like keep doing my work during this COVID time, and also keep pursuing my art career at a side part too. But I would say if I could have some acting opportunities, I think that would be pretty cool too. But I think we'll see how things go right now.
Awesome. So can I just say thank you so much for coming onto my show, by the way. It means so much. Any
Mhm.
last final thoughts or anything or comments you want to read out to people?
Let's see. I'll say I'll say like because there's COVID right now, so I know this is a very hard time for everyone, but please know so that you're not alone. You're not alone. Stay strong, stay gold, and no matter what hardship you have, you can make it through.